Welcome. People are starting to pour in. Hello. 2 people into the waiting room. Emily, Sarah. So, okay, so welcome Jeff, Kelly, Mark, Ratanjali, Daisy, Don, Julia. It looks like we've got a few more people. I heard it go clink, clink. So I think we got everybody in. So welcome to the Bowtech meditation Q&A class. And this class, I'm your host, Dame Lillian Walker, and we're doing this Blessing of the Energy Centers meditation. There's a lot of questions in the Dr. Joe meditation group. And so we want to clarify any questions, comments, or concerns that you have. I had some people who've asked about, Dr. Joe talks about, we got another person here, admit. Martha, welcome to the group. So a lot of people will ask about, the breath in and of itself. What's the difference between Bowtech 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? And so one of the questions that I had when before I went to a Dr. Joe 7-day advanced event, I had those same questions. And I remember thinking, I just wanted to get a hold of a Dr. Joe advanced student who had been to one of his events, who had, information and more experience than myself, that I could ask questions and get clarification and clarity about that. Let's see, Janice, welcome in.
Good night. Or I'll be in there.
We have somebody that
takes about an hour. I know. Are you sure? You have to walk around though? I don't want to keep
talking in the background. If you would mute yourself, we don't really need to hear the conversation that you're having with others. Class itself. Okay. We got 2 more people to let in. And okay. So, okay. So we've got probably another minute or 2. We'll be allowing more people to come in. So thank you for joining this Bowtech Q&A. And so as I was mentioning already here at the beginning, that this class is born as a direct result of you guys have been asking questions on the Dr. Joe groups, and you have questions about the breath. You have the questions about what's the difference between Bowtech 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's just a myriad of questions. And like yourselves, before I went to a Dr. Joe 7-day advanced event, I had lots of questions. And I really wanted to talk to someone who had been to at least one of his 7-day advanced events so I could pick their brain and get clarification. Isabella, welcome to the group, Isabella. And I wanted clarification about, the information that I had been exposed to from reading the books. So I had been meditating for many, many years prior to Dr. Joe's work, but I had never done guided meditations. All of my meditations were contemplative meditations. They were meditations that were just done either in complete silence or with instrumental music and so forth. And so my journey began with guided meditations as I began. Well, actually, I should kind of clarify that, because I did do walking meditations in Tai Chi and Qigong and, a little bit in yoga. So that's about the extent of the guided meditations that I had. Up until then, it was just, more of a solo thing. So in the books, he's very descriptive about, the blessing of the energy centers, about the heart-brain coherence meditation and a few other meditations. And then, of course, he always, points you in the direction of, thank goodness, his website where you can buy the meditations. So this class is for you guys. So I want to have you guys share whatever questions, comments, or concerns. If you want clarification about anything, just if you look at the bottom of your screen under chat, you can type your questions. If you want to go ahead and let us know where you are, I'm glad you can all hear now. Just type in where you are joining us from, what city, what state, what country. That would be fantastic. And before we jump in, as you know, this is a 1-hour class. We're going to stop sharp at 8:59 because I have a coherence healing that we're doing at 9 o'clock. So we have 42 minutes and 10 seconds of actual blessing of the energy centers meditation. So I want to take the next 10 minutes or so to answer any questions that you might have at this point in time. So is there anything that's great, Sarah, that it's clear for you? Let's see, we've got Julia from Bellingham, Washington, and Ontario. Kelly is from Manitoulin Island in Ontario. We've got Mark from Quebec, Janice from Oregon, Emily from Northern California. I'm, of course, here in Huntington Beach. So if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, and let's see who has the first question. It looks like Daisy's unmuted already, and Jeff, Martha. Do you guys want to go ahead and let us know what your questions are? Does anyone want to volunteer for the first question? Okay. It doesn't appear that anyone's volunteering with any kind of questions. So let me go ahead and start with blessing of the energy center. I'm just going to start with the basics, and let's go over what what the energy centers actually are. And Dr. Joe makes it very clear about calling them energy centers, which is basically the same thing in the yoga tradition. They call them chakras. Chakras, of course, means circles. And so the blessing of the energy centers always starts with your perineum. So I'm going to stand up so I can point to the place in the body so that you have an idea. I hope the microphone is still picking up okay. So I'm going to stand here a little bit back. I'm hoping I'm standing far back enough. So the first energy center is your perineum. And for those of you who don't know what a perineum is, that's the base of your spine, which is basically where your spine starts at your private parts. So that's your perineum. That's the first energy center. The second energy center, my belly button happens to be here. So about 2 inches, I would say about 3 to 4 fingers below your belly button, approximately 2 inches below your belly button, is your second energy center. The third energy center is about 2 inches above your belly button. That's your third energy center, and that's also called your solar plexus. You're going to go now to your heart energy center, and that would be the fourth energy center. The fifth energy center is your throat. The sixth is your pineal gland, which Dr. Joe always describes your pineal gland. We routinely point to the section between your eyebrows. But if you were to take the back of your head and take your finger and point the nape of your neck, where your hairline is at the bottom there, and if you were to point your finger inside your throat, where those 2 points meet in the center of your head, if you look at, in fact, I should probably, well, I don't have the page number handy. So for the next one of these, I will actually show you a graph. I have a Gray's Anatomy and a look inside your brain. You can probably actually kind of tell. Let me see if I can find really quickly. So if in this particular diagram, you see the girl's mouth and the base of the neck, if you were to draw a line to the center, which is approximately behind your eyes, in the center of the head, that's where your pineal gland is. And just 2 inches below that, or it's actually not 2 inches, it's 2 centimeters below, which is about half an inch below your pineal gland, is your pituitary gland, also recessed in the center of your brain. Okay, so that's your sixth energy center. The pituitary is, of course, the seventh energy center. So you picture the center of your brain. And then the eighth, he always tells you to take your fingernail and touch the top of your head. And that's your eighth energy center. And the 8th energy center actually goes from the top of your head up to 18 inches above your head. So moving on. As we begin the meditation of the blessing of the energy centers, there's a couple things that you're going to do. The key to meditation, oh, we've got another gal. Marcia, welcome. So the key to meditation and to you being able to successfully, first of all, for you to successfully do a meditation is the fact that you're actually doing the meditation. Dr. Joe says there's no such thing as a bad meditation. All meditation is your knowing yourself. And the key to your knowing yourself is to be in a relaxed state. So that's why the breathing is one of the most important parts of the meditation, because we actually have neuroscientific evidence and many papers that have been written to evidence that the breath is the remote control to your brain. It is with the breath that you are able to up or down regulate. You can actually pull up or pull down levers inside your brain to affect certain situations in your body. That's how you can regulate and you can alter. For example, if your heart rate's too high, you can bring it down with the breath. If you're having an anxiety or a panic attack, through a certain pattern of breath, you can reduce anxiety and nervousness and panic attacks, anxiety, etc. So the breath is key. So Dr. Joe talks about also slowing down your breath. And I always picture slowing down my breath as starting at the base of my spine, slowing down your breath, slowing down your heart rate, and slowing down your brain waves. So always think of that order: BR, breath, heart. So BR, HR, BR, breath, heart, brain. I hope that helps you guys remember that, because every single meditation, whether it's on your own or you're following Dr. Joe, any of Dr. Joe's meditations or any meditation in any way, shape, or form, it always starts with you slowing down your breath, slowing down your heart rate, slowing down your brain waves, okay? The next thing, thank you, Armida, for joining us. The next thing I want to bring your attention to is that as we begin, we'll be starting here in just a couple minutes with that meditation. The thing is that as you slow down your breath, your heart rate, and your brain waves, you're going to close your eyes, but you're going to want to roll your eyeballs up like this, but with your eyelids down. And by your looking into the eyebrow area with your eyes closed, you automatically go into theta brainwave state. That's a brain hack as well. So if you guys are interested in the neuroscientific papers that evidence that, I can send some of those to you. But the bottom line is this, that you will go into theta state. Every single human being, every night when you go to sleep, your brain goes into theta state. So this is a familiar state. It's not an unknown. Your body does this automatically. Every time you go to sleep, your brain eventually goes into that theta brainwave state. The peak times are between 2 and 4 in the morning for your brain to be in that theta state, which is why Dr. Joe also recommends that you wake up at 4 in the morning and do your first meditation of the day at 4 a.m. because 1, you'll be in the theta brainwave state without any effort whatsoever. And a theta brainwave state is not just the brainwave as you see it on a brain scan, but it also is your body is asleep, but your brain is awake. Okay. So you have a theta brainwave state, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, you also have the highest level of melatonin that is released from your pituitary gland, pineal gland. And as a direct result of that, you are able to effectuate a greater, deeper level of healing and also have mystical experiences. And it's also the ultimate state of your body being for you to manifest anything, healing, or creating anything really that you want. Okay. So we've talked about the breath. We talked about slowing down your breath, your heart rate, your brain waves. we talked about the energy centers being the first one at the base of your spine, which is at your perineum where your private parts are. And you are going to take your attention as you have your eyes closed, your eyes are rolled up into your head, you're slowing down your breath, your heart, your brain waves, your attention is going to be down. You're going to bring your focus and attention. And I want to also clarify that as you have your focus and your attention, your consciousness is your free will to direct your focus and attention. And instead of it being like a floodlight, the majority of our days, we have it like a floodlight, unless we're reading something, then we're focused on something. Okay. So as you move around your day, you don't have a particular focus. You're kind of doing more of a global view. And in meditation, you're choosing to take the floodlight of your consciousness and you're going to point it like a laser beam at your clear intention. And we're going to add an elevated emotion. Every single one of Dr. Joe's meditations have the formula, which involves slowing down your breath, slowing down your heart rate, slowing down your brain waves, taking your consciousness, focusing it like a laser, because you're going to have a clear intention. You're going to marry it with an elevated emotion. The elevated emotions, he always defines the base, which is the lowest fundamental, lowest vibrational emotional state, is going to be love. Love is the ultimate state of receivership. It is the base. You're basically at 528 hertz, which is, if you look at the Hawkins scale, they measure the vibrational frequencies. Love is at 528 hertz. And joy, ecstasy, bliss, etc., enlightenment go 600, 700, 800. Like joy is, for example, 600. So fear, shame, like if you look at fear, that's only 100 hertz vibrational frequency. And that's why love and fear, they can't occupy the same space. You're either at the vibrational frequency of fear or you're at the vibrational frequency of love, but you can't be both. It's impossible. So you're either vibrating at one or at the other. So if you use love as the base level frequency and you're feeling in your heart space, you just allow yourself to feel. For those of you who are saying, well, I'm not sure how to feel, I think I know what love is. And I think I know what, maybe a romantic love is, or a love of a child or of a sibling or of a best friend. What I'm going to say is that we've all experienced love and the different facets of love. So for right now, I want you to play, pretend, and make believe, and recall that time in your history where you felt the most love in your heart, and whether you got a puppy and you felt so much love for that puppy, or maybe you had a new baby in your family and you just saw you had so much love for that baby. That baby did nothing other than just be, and you just felt so much love and so much care for that baby. So allow yourself to play, pretend, make believe you're feeling that love in your heart. And Dr. Joe talks about not just love, but you're going to also wrap the love with appreciation and gratitude, which are higher vibrational states of frequency than love. Because when your brain, the organ of the brain, interprets that you're so grateful, and all you do is inside your head, you're going, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I have so much gratitude. I am so thankful for whatever the clear intention is. I'm so grateful for this. And when you have appreciation, a nuance about appreciation is when you appreciate someone or you appreciate something, that means that you hold, let's say it's that thing. That means that you hold that thing in higher value. The easiest way to remember this is like when you have a house and it has appreciation, it's appreciated in equity. That means that it's more than what you purchased it for. And now it has gone up in value. So that house now you appreciate it because you hold it in higher regard because it's worth more money. It has more equity. So the same thing is true with this thing that you have a clear intention about. If your clear intention is to, let's say, maybe you're using Bowtech to manifest a new home. So you're visualizing yourself in that home. That's your clear intention. So you're feeling as if you're there already. You have so much gratitude. You're like, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, I so appreciate having this new home. And you're allowing yourself to feel the feeling of love, appreciation, and gratitude. And you're like, yes, oh my gosh, I made this happen. I made the impossible possible. Yes, yes, yes. I'm a rock star. I did it. I did it. I did it. And for me, using the same languaging, I use this, it may sound boring to you guys, but what happens is that you have deep neural pathways of the brain that are already familiar with that. So as you do that repeatedly, your body goes, oh, we're already familiar with this. Oh, she's feeling love, gratitude, and appreciation. This must have happened already. So now your body is going, we got to catch up because her mind is already saying that this happened. So now in 3D, we need to catch up to the mind. The body is doing physical things unconsciously to get you to catch up to that reality. Okay, so it's 8:21. We got to start on the blessing of the energy centers. We're going to actually do this right now. So we're all in mute. Okay. So that concludes the blessing of the energy centers. I thank you guys all for joining me here today. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, we're going to elaborate in the next class that we do. I have to look at the calendar because obviously we've got Christmas coming up in the next 10 days. There's not much time left, but just look out in the Botech meditation group and in the Dr. Joe meditation group as well, that you guys are all part of. And we'll kind of go from there. I have a coherence healing that I'm a few minutes late for, so I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you again for participating in the blessing of the energy centers. Okay. Ciao for now, my friends and gems.